Wait, Manchester United just scrapped their iconic stadium design? The £2 billion new Trafford project that was supposed to be the Eiffel Tower of football stadiums, gone. The three massive trident spires that divided fans across the internet, removed. And here's the kicker. It's all because of a piece of land valued at £400 million that United thought would cost them £50 million. I'm about to reveal everything that's changed since March, the real reasons behind the redesign, and why this might actually be the best thing that could have happened to Manchester United's stadium dreams. If you watched my original video on New Trafford, buckle up, because everything has changed. Let's rewind to March 11th, 2025. Manchester United unveils their vision for New Trafford, a spectacular 100,000-seat stadium with Norman Foster's jaw-dropping design featuring three 200-meter-tall masts holding up a massive canopy. Sir Jim Ratcliffe stood on stage and said, "Everyone knows the Eiffel Tower. Everyone wants to visit. Everyone in the world will want to come visit this stadium. I think the design is a 10 out of 10. The renders went viral. Fans were divided. Some called it futuristic and bold. Others, they weren't so kind, comparing it to a circus tent, questioning whether it fit Manchester's industrial heritage. But here's what nobody saw coming. Just 6 months later, in September 2025, reports from The Athletic dropped a bombshell. Manchester United is ditching the canopy design entirely. The iconic feature that was supposed to define New Trafford, that was expected to cost between £300 to £400 million to build, is being scrapped, and the club is now drawing up more traditional stadium designs. So what happened? The answer comes down to one word: Freightliner. Let me explain this disaster. Freightliner is the freight company that owns the land west of Old Trafford, the exact land United needs to build their massive canopy and the surrounding development. Here's where it gets messy. Manchester United's valuation was £50 million. Freightliner's asking price, £400 million. That's not a negotiation gap. That's a £350 million chasm, 8 times what United expected to pay. And here's the thing, the giant canopy wasn't just going to sit over the stadium. The Foster Plus Partners design showed it extending outward, creating a covered plaza area twice the size of Trafalgar Square, with entertainment venues, commercial spaces, and fan zones underneath. That meant United needed more land from Freightliner, and Freightliner wasn't budging. According to reports, while the freight company is willing to relocate their terminal, they're sticking to their £400 million price tag. And to make matters worse, in late 2025, CMA CGM, a major shipping giant, announced they're taking over Freightliner's UK operations, adding even more uncertainty to the negotiations. The mayor of Greater Manchester, Andy Burnham, admitted in August that talks with Freightliner remain far from resolved. So United faced a choice: pay hundreds of millions more than expected for land to build an aesthetic feature that divided fans anyway, or go back to the drawing board. They chose option 2. So what does a New Trafford without the canopy look like? Sources say the updated plans feature a more traditional stadium appearance. But don't worry, it's still Foster Plus Partners at the helm, and Norman Foster's vision isn't completely abandoned. Reports suggest United has been studying other major stadiums for inspiration. Think SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, the £4.1 billion home of the LA Rams and Chargers. It's the most expensive stadium ever built, featuring a sleek bowl-like design with a distinctive curved roof, no massive canopy needed, but it still looks absolutely stunning. Or Real Madrid's renovated Bernabeu, a more traditional football stadium aesthetic, but with cutting-edge technology and premium experiences. Here's what's likely staying in the design: 100,000 seat capacity, making it the UK's largest club stadium, the pitch 15.9 meters below ground level, state-of-the-art sustainability features, premium hospitality areas, and a modern bold design with unobstructed views. What's definitely gone? The 3 200-meter trident masts, the massive umbrella-like canopy, and the covered plaza underneath. And here's the silver lining. Removing the canopy means less land needed from Freightliner for faster construction start, £300 to £400 million saved on the canopy alone, and a more feasible timeline to hit the 2030 to 31 target. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. How is Manchester United going to pay for this? The original estimate? £2 billion. But here's the reality. Stadium projects like this always exceed initial projections. Finance expert Stefan Borson warned the club could be facing a £4 billion bill due to inflation and rising construction costs. And United is in a financial bind. They're carrying £731 million in financial debt, £391 million in transfer debt, totaling over £1 billion in total debt, and they posted a £33 million loss in 2024 to 2025, despite record revenues of £666.5 million. So where's the money coming from? Chief Operating Officer Colette Rush made it crystal clear in October 2025. We understand the stadium is our responsibility. We will pay the £2 billion. But she also added, no public money will fund the stadium. So the options are limited. Bank loans, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and Bank of America are expected to be in the mix. Experts estimate lenders could provide £1 to £1.5 billion in debt financing. But here's the problem. Borrowing costs have skyrocketed since United last raised debt. Interest payments would basically double. Another option is a special purpose entity called Stadco. Create a separate company that technically owns the stadium, secured by future ticket sales and matchday revenue. This is the most likely route as it can achieve investment-grade credit ratings and spread the cost over decades. But here's where it gets really controversial. In July 2025, reports emerged that United is considering something unprecedented in English football: personal seat licenses, or PSLs. Here's how it would work. Fans pay a one-off fee of up to £4,000 for the right to purchase a season ticket for a specific seat for 30 years. If you skip a season, you lose the license. This is common in American sports. The LA Rams charged up to $220,000 per license for SoFi Stadium. But in England, it would be the first time ever. The backlash has been immediate. One focus group participant said the proposals include 15-year season tickets with large upfront payments and hospitality sections up to 40% of capacity. United's response? They insist no decisions have been made and they're still in the consultation phase. Speaking of consultation, Manchester United has been conducting the most extensive fan engagement process in the club's history. Back in November 2024, the first survey asked the fundamental question: new stadium or redevelop Old Trafford? The results showed 52% voted for a new stadium, 31% for redevelopment, and 17% were unsure. Over 50,000 fans participated, the highest engagement rate ever for a United survey. Then in July 2025, they held focus groups with season ticket holders, members, and hospitality purchasers to test pricing models and features. The feedback was mixed, to say the least. Fast forward to October 2025, and United launched the latest phase with CSL International, a market research company. This survey specifically asks fans about types of facilities they want, seating categories and pricing, premium hospitality options, attitudes towards seat licenses, and affordability concerns. The club emphasized, we want to balance financing a new stadium with keeping football affordable and accessible for fans. But here's the tension. United claims they want to keep our cheapest tickets at widely accessible levels. But to do that, they say they must develop the best and most premium options in the market to subsidize lower-cost tickets. Translation? Expect luxury suites and corporate hospitality to rival five-star hotels, with some fans potentially priced out of premium areas to keep general admission affordable. The deadline for the October survey was November 6, 2025. Results haven't been released yet, but the anxiety in the fan base is palpable. So when is this actually happening? Back in March 2025, United announced they hope to start construction by the end of 2025. Well, here we are, and construction hasn't started. Why? The Freightliner land dispute isn't resolved. Foster plus Partners still hasn't been officially contracted as the final architect. The funding structure isn't finalized, and planning permission hasn't even been submitted yet. Norman Foster estimated 5 years of construction time using modular building techniques and transporting prefabricated parts via the Manchester Ship Canal. That was the optimistic scenario. The revised timeline now looks more like this: planning and design through late 2025 into 2026, construction start potentially in 2026 or 2027, and completion somewhere between 2030 and 2032. Omar Barada, United's CEO, admitted construction is predicated on planning permission and how quickly the local authority can work. Lord Sebastian Coe now chairs the wider Old Trafford regeneration project, focusing on the area beyond just the stadium. And here's a concern raised by Everton's director Colin Chong, who oversaw their new stadium completion. He said, "They don't own the land. They've not got a detailed stadium design. They haven't got the funding. From what I can see, there's no strategic plan." His comments look more accurate by the day. Every month that passes without groundbreaking is another month of rising costs and growing uncertainty. So where does this leave United's stadium dreams? Let me break down the good and the bad. On the positive side, dropping the canopy could genuinely speed up the project. There's 300 to 400 million pounds saved on construction that can be redirected elsewhere. Less land needed means easier negotiations with Freightliner. They're still aiming for 100,000 capacity and world-class facilities, and the government supports area regeneration even if they won't fund the stadium directly. But the bad news: no construction start date confirmed. Financing still uncertain. The final design isn't locked in. The land dispute remains unresolved, and fans are increasingly worried about pricing and affordability. Here's my take. The canopy was always going to be controversial. Some architecture experts said it clashed with Manchester's industrial heritage. Fans compared it to the abandoned Wembley design that Kevin Keegan called a circus tent back in 1999. A more traditional, bold design with cutting-edge technology and sustainability features? That might actually be more appealing to the average match-going fan, as long as the experience inside is world-class. But United needs to act fast. Every delay means rising costs. Liverpool University football finance lecturer Kieran Maguire put it perfectly. Labor costs are up because of tax issues. Material costs are up as a byproduct of Ukraine and economic uncertainty. Whoever is going to press the button needs to do it sooner rather than later. The window of opportunity is closing, so there you have it. The complete inside story of how Manchester United's £2 billion stadium dream went from the Eiffel Tower of football to a more practical, traditional design. The iconic canopy is gone. The 3 trident masts that sparked 1,000 memes, scrapped. But the ambition remains. Build the greatest stadium in world football. Will United actually pull this off by 2030? Can they resolve the land dispute with Freightliner? Will fans accept controversial financing models like personal seat licenses? And most importantly, will the new design live up to the Theatre of Dreams legacy? Only time will tell. What do you think? Are you relieved the canopy is gone? Or did you love the bold design? Should United pay £400 million for the Freightliner land or scale down even further? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one. If this video helped you understand the complete picture of United's stadium saga, hit that like button. It helps me massively in getting this story out to more fans, and subscribe with notifications on, because I'll be covering every major update as this story develops. There's going to be a lot more twists and turns ahead, trust me. For now, the Theatre of Dreams is getting a sequel, but the script keeps changing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.